Hello, fellow Factorians, and welcome back to my Pyanodons challenge run. During the last episode, I worked on rehoming a lot of Vrauk cocoon production, getting my Vrauks to eat my new Vrauk food, and generally speeding up the amount of Vrauk production I had, which led to a lot more latex being produced. And then I decided I was going to hook up another stack of Pi 1 science, because I didn't want all that additional latex production just to go to waste. So I did that, and it ended up being a long marathon run. And as with all the marathon runs, it caused problems. Not the problem that I would have expected. Power went okay. I'm starting to use that coal build that I don't want to use anymore. But yeah, it went okay. No other major hiccups except I forgot to add enough labs to consume all the science. So I thought about it for a while and played in hands-off mode, setting up blueprints for what I expected to do during this episode. And I was like, I didn't increase my science targets, but if I had, I would be failing. So this should really count as a failure. So I didn't completely cheat and, burn off the entire 6 hours of hands-off time that I expected to have. But it was just over 2 hours, and I feel like it's fair counting this as a failure. So I'm going to add one more entry to my Memento Mori book. It's been a while since I've had one. I'll show that when I get to the live episode. During this session, I have a lot of tasks to do. I found a lot of things to do in my task list between cleanup and new work. But most importantly, I want to set up rubber production. And that's going to be the major goal. Chromium is a side goal. And all those cleanup tasks, a little bit of additional power is the third tier goal, although I probably will hit the power issue first, just so I don't keep spending raw coal when I've got other places to get power from. See you in the main episode. So, despite the fact that I'm cutting in with a failure early rather than during the full 6 hours of hands-off time, I still have a lot to do. My task list is really extensive. I want to improve my power system some. I need to build the labs that I'm missing because of my science. It's slowing down my science. I want to build rubber. And finally, if I can squeeze it in, I'm going to add some chromium production. So I need to jump in on all of that stuff, and I think we'll just get started. Clean out my inventory a little bit. That's going to be a very taxing episode as I go through stuff. But let's reset the timer and go into hands-on mode. So first thing I want to do is address my power system. One way I'm going to do that is add more syngas production. So I'm just going to add a bunch of gasifiers up here, and I'll be back after I've done that. Alright, the additional gasifiers are done and hooked up, and hopefully, I need to offload the soot separation products, but otherwise, we should be good now. So next, I want to fiddle around with my liquid fuel production of steam here with these oil burners. I've noticed that if you look here, they're toggling back and forth really fast. And because they end up with small amounts of fuel in their burners, I think that makes them less efficient. So I'm going to adjust this to use a latch, and I'll be right back after I've done that. Also, I'm going to add a bunch of new oil burners. And clean up this this iron maze over here because, pieces of it are continuing to no longer work. Alright, now with the latch system in place here and this checking both of these check valves, should be able to get better flow into my oil burners here. And now I just have to set them up so that I have a few more here, which can absorb the full production of my acetylene and syngas if I need it. I'm also going to add a big tank here so that even when I don't need the full production, there can be a buffer of steam produced here. Oops, and I guess I need more. Oops, it's not lack of pipes, it's lack of blueprint shotgun shells. I always wonder when I start shooting what is going on. But yeah, usually it's that lack of blueprint shotgun shells. All right, I'm gonna move these up so they match, so they match the other set. I guess it's just being finicky, but yeah. And then I'm gonna reprogram this this caravan so that he knows to visit both of these outposts, and then I will be off to the next task. Okay, now this is working well. I had to put in a stone and change the settings to be up for acetylene. Also put this big tank in here, so I think I'm going to put in those new labs that I need next. So yeah, be back after I've done that. Oh, also to improve my power system, I've noticed that my bootstrap base has excess steam. If you check these tanks over here, so I'm going to put in a few more steam engines into the bootstrap base to drain off this overflow steam. That steam is only there if I have plenty for other purposes. Alright, now my science consumption should speed up quite a bit. And with that, I'm going to set my target a little bit higher. I'm going to set it higher for Pi 1. Oops, that's not the right target place. Here it is. I'm going to set it higher to Pi 1 up to 300. For automation science, I'll set it up to 420. I should be running it considerably faster, of course, but I'm nervous that here, if I stop producing here for a minute because this caravan outpost fills up, then all of a sudden I'm going to have an issue where the alarm triggers just because for a moment I'm not producing enough automation science, even though over time I am. It's the typical issue, and it's going to be a problem in general when I'm using outpost-based science production, so I'll have to figure that out in the future. For now, Pi 1 is delivered on a belt, and as long as Pi 1 is made at the appropriate rate, I think automation science is pretty stable in most regards, but I do have to run over here and do a quick fix to it because I'm missing a piece of a belt. So 1 second when I fix that, and then I've got a few other tasks that I want to do before I work on rubber. So I'm gonna get through my task list a little bit, and then we'll see about rubber. The missing piece of belt is right there. All right, now all of those should work as soon as I need more automation science. Let's look at my task list while I'm running around. I've added more steam to the bootstrap base. I've added more labs. This is the next thing I'm going to do. I'm going to remove some of those direct ash lines. That's because last time I saw that my coal was running low in pieces of the patch, and one way I can address that is make the pieces of my automation science build, some of them that are depending on a direct ash line, use caravans instead, and therefore the need is more distributed, and I can take some of that coal production and kind of patch it through so it's not all, how should I say this, so that the coal goes to places that basically adds more redundancy. So I'm going to remove these lines of direct ash. Be back after I've done this and set up a new caravan to deliver ash here. By the way, I think I forgot to show it, but I did stick in a memento mori for this failure at 185 hours, so a 55-hour gap, that feels pretty good, or over 2 days of playtime without one. But yeah, not enough labs to consume the science that I should have been having. Ah, well. Alright, now I've added some redundancy to the coal lines that look like they are going to die soonest. So, off to my next job. Let's take a look at my task list. I've removed those direct ash lines. I want to consolidate another iron line, or at least reduce the amount of jaw crushers I have up here. Several of these jaw crushers are not really running at full tilt, especially the ones at the end, which have the stone furnaces. And I would kind of like to stop using these gas furnaces up front, so I'm going to take away some of these jaw crushers to cause that to happen. Alright, that item is gone. I fixed the syn gas and acetylene toggling. I made more syn gas. I added a steam tank for oil burners. Now I just have to set up a priority system for latex for what I'm going to be doing with rubber. So I'll be back after I've reprogrammed a few caravans. Alright, and I'm just doing that because I need a 2-tier priority system for latex. The rubber that I'm going to set up is going to need latex, but the Pi one should get dibs on latex as a top priority. So I need to dump off a bunch of ash that I've collected in my inventory, figure out where to hide this latex that I've got sitting around, and yeah, continue on with new things to do. Latex priority is done. Alright. The rest of these items I think I will work on after I have worked on the rubber build that I want to set up. So, and yeah, that's going to take a little bit because there is a lot of logistics involved with it. So first I just need to build out the materials that I need to create this. Yeah, it's quite a lot. Okay. Be back after I've built all that stuff. Alright, time to get to work setting this up. So, rubber. Rubber is one of those things that creates a big dent in your latex consumption. You need 1 latex per rubber at this stage of the game. And oops, I guess I forgot a bunch of stuff. I forgot undergrounds. I'll have to go back and fetch those. But anyway, so they're made in the heavy oil refinery. It takes 3 ingredients: 1 latex, 2 carbon black, and 50 polybutadiene. The latex, this is why, another reason where we've made so many Vrauks. The polybutadiene is made in multi-purpose crackers down here at the bottom. The multi-purpose crackers take, I believe, yeah, titanium, aromatics, and aromatics we're going to be short on for a while until I add more production water, and it puts out polybutadiene and 150-degree steam. So, and that is a problem. The 150-degree steam can poison your steam supply, because many processes that use steam don't want 250 degree steam. Not few of them want any degree steam. So that's one thing that I'm going to have to deal with. And because it's hard mode, I can't just dump it out into a sewer somewhere. Oops, it looks like there's a lake under here somewhere. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to have to connect it up to processes that use 150 degree steam, or I can generate electricity with it. But of course, because it's so low temperature, you don't make a lot of electricity out of it. So I'd rather use it on processes that are using 250 degree steam right now as a way to save on steam. And fortunately, there's a couple of them that are close by. Both latex and agar making, so the steam that I'm using in Pi 1, will use the low temperature steam, and I'm going to connect it up to that. So yeah, that's polybutadiene. And then carbon black is up here, and it's made by reformers. Reformers take anthracene oil and a vacuum, and we'll turn it into carbon black. So pretty simple, as long as I can get anthracene down here. And that's what I'm going to be working on next. I have to rejigger some of my lines up the top to adjust them, because I made kind of a mess. And yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a problem to sort out getting all of those liquids down to here. And I also, of course, have to go grab some underground belts. Or maybe I can just make some. No, I can't make any. All right, so I'm going to work on this. I'm going to work on getting the fuel lines down here. I mean, not fuel, the liquid lines down here. Also need to get... oh, one more thing that I should mention. This uses... I guess it's off the edge of the map. It uses coal power plants because it needs 100 degrees of heating. So you can't use the burners like I have for other things that need heat. I have to use a new building, which is a coal power plant. In regular Pi, you can use the coal power plant to generate energy, but unfortunately, in Pi hard mode, you can only use it to generate heat. So it doesn't take a lot of fuel, only 2 megawatts of fuel to generate 10 megawatts of heat, so that's why I need 2 of them. But yeah, I'm going to have to get some coke down here. That's going to be my fuel of choice for this particular process. So yeah, I'm going to work on this rat's nest. I've got to kind of align things better, because as you can see, I've got like lines that are going up and consuming. Basically, if I want to use this a line here, this is using 2 north-south lines. This is using 1 of them, and I've got to kind of untangle this map. So I'll be back after I've done some of this untangling. All right, and that should take care of that. It's really nice now that the Factorio devs have made it so that when you cut and paste, that it keeps the circuit connections. Really, really helpful there. Alright, this is mostly set up. I need to connect out this steam line. I need to get some titanium coming in. Yeah, I think I'm looking pretty good. Also need to hook up this radar somehow. So let's see. With that done, I think the next task I'm going to do... Well, I'm going to look at my task list to see some of those items. The last thing I'm going to work on is adding chromium. Chrome plus rubber is going to give me long-handled inserters, which will be just fantastic. They're faster than the yellow inserters. They're a tool that, especially with the amount of belt weaving I like to do, is really nice to have. And also, they give you 3 filter slots rather than just 2. In Pyanodons, you get 1 with mechanical inserters, 2 with yellow, 3 with red, and presumably 4 or more with fast inserters and so on, just like you do in regular vanilla. So also these need to heat up. They're going to take a while to get hot. I've already set up a caravan to go deal with my ash. So yeah, I just need that titanium. And also I'm going to go set up the steam line. So back after I've done that. Well, it looks like I have to make some undergrounds. So among other things that I want to do is I need to do a little fix here. Sometimes my seaweed is rising. Oh, I must be full on latex. Or not. What's going on here? What is going on here? I don't get it. Oh, that's weird and not good. I guess I didn't hook carbolic back up. I have to fix that right away. Alright, that was quick. But one of the things I'm going to do as a task here is switch all these out to electric miners anyway. So, yeah, maybe I should have taken that opportunity, but I wasn't thinking about it. I was just like, oh no, my latex isn't running. One thing I wanted to do here is make sure that these last few seaweeds drop onto both lanes. Alright, that's taken care of. Also, while I'm up here, I wanted to connect the steam line from this latex build over to the steam that is feeding Pi 1. Because, yeah, this is going to be 150 degree steam pretty soon. Or at least it's going to be mixed with 150 degree steam. So I need to kind of make sure that this area of steam is isolated to just be topped up from 250 degree steam, which it is with a valve right here. And then it's going to be fed some extra 150 degree steam from the new rubber build. Alright, and that should end up consuming more than enough steam right now with the amount of latex and Pi 1 I'm producing. I think I've got like about 1,500 steam absorption. That's nowhere near the amount this will make before I get a full load of aromatics in. Right now, only a quarter of this build will run based off the amount of aromatics I currently produce. But yeah, in the future, I'll need to figure out something better, so we'll have to remind myself to do that. For now, let's see. Yeah, the temperature isn't even close, and I haven't gotten titanium over there, so it's not going to be running. But eventually I want to force this to run all the time, and maybe even this to run all the time, so that I get a reasonable amount of aromatics in. Because I'm going to want to stockpile a bunch of rubber. That build that I made, when running at full tilt, will make 4 rubber per second, and I need like 3.89 for the amount of logistic science that I'll be making in the future. So it'll be good to have a good surplus of rubber sitting around in my base to do various things with. Besides long-handled inserters, it's used in a whole bunch of other things. You can also use it to make more efficient belts, undergrounds, and so on. So yeah, it's very useful. So I think I will just set up something to stockpile quite a lot of it. And in return, I will stop stockpiling this zinc. All my aromatics will be going toward a rubber production for a long time anyway. So yeah, basically I will not be doing any zinc production anymore. Okay, I've done this task. I will add a few extra Vault cages to the new builds. I should have added 15 instead of 10. So I need to take care of this, and then fix the low water on latex 2. I have switched latex 1 over to the other steam line, and I want to do this as well in this one. So I'm going to work on each of those. This Rauk area could use a more serious cleanup, but I'm not going to get into it now. All I really need to do is make sure that the Rauks can come off the line fast enough, and they weren't. So I'm gonna make a little bit of an adjustment here and make sure that can happen. I had some cocoons left over here when I was cleaning up the lines, so I guess I can get rid of these as well. Alright, this should fix the lack of water that was going into this latex area, although I've got another problem where I need to fix the steam to latex 1. It seems like a recurring theme. And then I will come back and address the issue that I was having with electric mining for the stone. I cut off the carbolic acid to it so that, oops, I guess this needs an adjustment. Alright. Alright, is that better? Alright, everything's going again. Good. As I was saying, I cut off the carbolic acid over here to make sure that the miners were kind of empty and the lines were kind of empty, so I need to... yeah, now I can clean this out. Alright, back after I've set up something to make this a little bit better with electric miners. Alright, and now I've got electric mining set up for these mining drills. I wanted to have a pretty spread out set of miners, so that's why I went with this particular pattern that I came up with on the fly. Hopefully it works out for me. But yeah, and eventually I might need a fourth line, so I added that at the same time. Anyway, on to additional tasks. Let's see what I fixed. I added the Rauk cages, I removed Rauks from the builds faster, fixed low water on latex 2, switched coal mining to set up the coke depot. Now I need to just do chrome, but also, let's see. Yeah, my science is running a little slow because I think I'm low on water over there. I'm going to add more water pumping in another area. You do kind of just assume, oh, one pump is going to be enough, and then you just realize you were completely wrong. So I'm going to go over there and fix that. Let me grab my car so I can drive over there part of the way. And yeah, then I will work on chrome. Alright, I knew I needed some more iron there too, and that should get my automation science running pretty well here. So, let's see. Next I'm going to work on the chrome. Yep, we need to chrome everything up. Nah. I've let the decorations slide a little bit, been too busy during the hands-off period, either failing or planning all the Rauk rehoming. So, but yeah, I will get back to it eventually. So chrome, I'm going to go collect the buildings that I need to work on it, and then once I've got them all, I will talk through it. Also, I need to check how rubber is doing. I think I still need to set up a titanium caravan to go down there and deliver some. First thing I need to do is set up sandcasts. Sandcasts are part of the process to make a lot of metals at the higher levels. This is just happens to be the first one that I'll need it for, and I won't need a lot of it. I will eventually set up a more robust sandcasting system, but maybe I'll do that once I get to trains rather than right now. At the moment, I will just set up here, because I'm already making a little bit of sand here, and using up more sand, which means using up more gravel, seems like a good idea to me. So yeah, I will just set it up here. It needs sand and creosote, so pretty simple. I'll be back after I've got that and loaded into an outpost. Well, that's unfortunate. I've just found that that I did not clear out all the iron ore after all. What to do with it? I think I'm using it for something over here, so I can. I'll send it over to steel. That's what I'll do. I was going to put my caravan outpost here, but I must clean out the bootstrap space ore, so I will do that later. All right, chromium. To mine and make chromium, you need syngas. Syngas powers the miners. And once you get the ore from the mining, you pass it to a jaw crusher over here. The jaw crusher takes the chrome ore and turns it into, let's see if I can remember off the top of my head, chromite grade 1 and stone. Because, you know, it's a Pyanodons mining recipe, so it has to make some extra stone. And I don't mind the extra stone. The grade 1 turns into chromite sand inside of a solid separator, and then you pass the chromite sand into a casting unit, where with limestone and the sand casts that we just made, and some carbon dioxide, you turn it into the actual chromite ingot. Chromite ingot? Or it's just called chromium. Anyway, so I'm going to be sending the sand casts down here on a caravan as usual, but everything else can be done on site with just a few liquids coming in here. I might even have a closer way to get, yeah, there's one right here. Carbon dioxide is fortunately right here, so it's pretty easy for me to do the mining on site, which is one reason I picked this particular patch to do it from. So I have to set up a few caravans, and also the voiding of stone. I've got the stone area pretty close by, so I'll just send it over on a belt, and then we'll be done with making chrome. I need to go check my rubber. I did see that I just made my first rubber, so that's awesome. I don't need this anymore. I got it from a different area. Anyway, as I was saying, I did see that I just made my first rubber, which is great. Hopefully I'll be making it in at least 1 per second. 1 per second would be great. That build makes 4 per second, I think I mentioned before, but I will not have the aromatics for that. Speaking of which, I should set up the aromatics to maximize how much of those are made. So, caravan time. Looks like I've got a messed up pipe on my rubber build, but otherwise it's going fine. So I will fix that, and then I think it'll be time for hands-off mode. Oops, another dead quartz mine. Ah, well. Alright, for the moment all of these are running, but I imagine my aromatics will drain out pretty quickly now that this is going. Let's look at the tanks here. Oh, it's kind of holding steady. No, it's definitely draining out. Okay. So I'm going to maximize how much aromatics I make for the moment. So I'll take away this, and yeah, we'll force the creosote to be voided there. think I'm going to lower the coal gas totals that this requires. I would like these to fire now after the pitch. The pitch should start getting voided first, which I think I set to like 55. Yeah, so this should get voided soon. So if I've got pitch, do I have pitch? Well, anyway, point being, I want all of these tar processors to run, making tar, making all the byproducts to make more liquid fuels, and also so that this build up here will be running full tilt, making all the coal gas it possibly can, and then with all the coal gas possibly can, this syngas build should be running like full tilt as well. And yeah, I'm full on syngas. And how am I looking for steam? Yeah, these the steam reservoir is looking pretty good, and all of this is running as fast as possible, as far as I can tell. Yep. So all of that is great. Hopefully this means that this is not running, and it's time to go into hands-off mode. Thank you so much for joining me. Not quite the marathon that it was last time, but definitely a longer episode, but feels very productive. And science is running 700 automation, and oh well, this is probably a little bit of a blip, but yeah, should be 360 per minute. I'll have to figure out why automation isn't quite keeping up, but I'll do that next time. And it's still within the margin that I would like for where I want to be. So, see you next time.